So Mohr here, and welcome to a new top 10 list. It might be a surprise to know that I myself am a fan of the Peanuts from Charles M. Schulz. I like the comics, I enjoy the characters, and I adore the charm and humor they have. But what I love the most with them are the TV specials. They're simple and fun, have likable and hateable characters and situations, nice animation, good voice work, and easily the best and most charming music for television. And I figured today that I would do a top 10 list of my favorites. These are ones that really do have the greatest music, greatest moments, and are all around lovable. But since the Peanuts are best known for their holiday specials and not much for their non-holiday specials, I'll go over 5 of each for this list. 5 holiday specials and 5 non-holiday specials. And believe me, this list isn't as predictable as you think. And also, these are just my thoughts on them and the ones that I choose. So, let's begin another top 10 list of my top 10 favorite Peanut specials. Number 10. Happiness is a Warm Blanket, Charlie Brown. Okay, this is kind of cheating since the original team behind the special didn't work on this one. But for being the last Peanut special from a new crew, it's really something to appreciate. A majority of the special focuses on Linus's relationship with his blanket and the troubles he faces. The kids are annoyed with him carrying it around all the time, Lucy tries to tell him to give up the blanket, even with their grandmother visiting, Snoopy taking the blanket for himself, etc. But it also shows the kids' attitude toward Pigpen, and the moments between Schroeder and Lucy and Charlie Brown's feelings are more of a background or a side thing. The animation goes for more of a 60s look like the original, but there are moments where the animation is smooth and is nicely done. The only complaint I have is the voice of Lucy, as the kid sounds too old for her. But for everything else, they work out pretty well, with nice music, good animation, and a very fine speech from Linus near the end. It's all quite likable. It may not have as great a charm as its predecessors, but all of the moments, whether funny or sad, are very present, and it does have the spirit of the originals in some way or another. Number 9. It's Flesh Pickle, Charlie Brown. The Peanuts had done a few musical specials, and this here is one of them. Yes, it's a product of its time, with some of the music and look reflecting the 80s, while the rest of it is likely a normal Peanuts musical. And you would say it's dated and all the musical numbers don't exactly connect, but for me, it's such an enjoyable one to sing and maybe dance to. There's not much of a full-fledged narrative as it's mainly a series of musical numbers involving dancing, but despite most of it having an 80s feel, the music and songs are kind of catchy and memorable, with Peppermint Patty getting into shape, Lucy leading in a game of Lucy Says, which is her take on Simon Says, the kids doing the Pigpen hoedown, and Snoopy dancing on the dance floor to his own song Flesh Pickle, in which everything musically about the 80s is thrown in. At times there are moments that are basically Peanuts like some with Peppermint Patty and Sally, but they do get a chuckle or a laugh from me whenever they happen. The animation, for being a musical, is well done and every song being sung is fun and entertaining. Still, for what it is, the special is interesting. Having a mix of the 80s, traditional Peanuts, and all being a musical, Flesh Pickle is quite unique in what it delivers. Number 8. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Another Peanuts musical, but now has a very different fashion than Flesh Pickle. Based on the Broadway musical of the same name by Clark Geisher, the special showcases the characters' feelings, moments, and view of the world from how they see fit, including Lucy dreaming of being queen, the kids' own take of doing a book report on Peter Rabbit, trying to win a baseball game, Lucy giving facts her own way to Linus, the kids singing about finding happiness in everything, and Snoopy's love for supper, as this is the only special I know to have Snoopy's dialogue as eternal, like Garfield. All of the songs are fun and sometimes memorable, and certain segments are just talking with music as the backing track. And yes, like Flesh Pickle, there isn't much of a story with it, but the musical numbers are what makes the special pretty good. It's all timeless, has nice animation, and has good moments in almost every corner. It's fun, it's sad, it's funny, it's charming, it's everything you expect for a Peanut special. Using only 6 characters and running at 48 minutes, making it the longest Peanut special. And overall, it's a wonderful musical brimming with simple sequences and joyful tunes to sing along with. Number 7. It's Magic Charlie Brown. This is one of the most underrated specials the Peanuts have been in, but for what it presents, it actually makes for a pretty interesting show. Snoopy gets a book of magic tricks from the library and performs a magic show as the Great Houdini, get it? But while some of his tricks didn't go well, his one trick of making Charlie Brown disappear did. And with being invisible, Charlie Brown faces the pros and cons of not being seen, as Snoopy figures out how to bring Charlie Brown back. There's plenty of things that make this special quite unique. The way it shows Charlie Brown being invisible and Snoopy's attempts to bring him back. The tricks Snoopy performs are quite funny. The inside of Snoopy's doghouse is shown. Yes, that's actually what it is. And the most satisfying is seeing invisible Charlie Brown kicking Lucy's football, which is kind of clever how it's done when you really think about it, with a sweet revenge at the end. Despite Charlie Brown's voice sounding too old and not having much enthusiasm, everything else with this special is very satisfying. I enjoy the humor it has, I enjoy the gags, and I enjoy every moment of it. It's unlike any normal Peanut special I've seen, and all of its effort is very clear. Number 6. This is America Charlie Brown, The Mayflower Voyagers. While part of an educational miniseries about American history with the Peanuts characters involved in the same time of history, this one's not only my favorite in that series, but it's my favorite of the Thanksgiving specials. Sure, the Peanuts did a Thanksgiving special before, yet I prefer this one more. Not because it's educational, but because it felt good from the other special. I did mention this and a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving in a video of other Thanksgiving specials I've seen, so you can watch that one for more. But I can say this for sure that there isn't any traditional Peanuts gags in it, and the humor is just of the time. At times there are one or two moments that don't fit with the time period the special set in, but the moments the Pilgrims had to go through are genuine, the times with the Peanuts characters are enjoyable and sometimes funny, and the music is gorgeous and really the main highlight of the special for me, sounding very beautiful and elegant throughout. The bits with the Peanuts characters are good and the educational portion is really engaging. Fun learning, nice moments, and great music, this special about the first Thanksgiving is one I never miss when the holiday rolls around. Number 5. It's Christmas time again, Charlie Brown. It's interesting that Christmas is the only holiday where the Peanuts have the most specials dedicated to, but to where the Christmas sequels have their hits and misses, the second one is better and funnier. I mentioned this in a top 10 list of my favorite Christmas specials, but let's get more out of it. There's more storylines and subplots to this one and has more funnier bits than the other Christmas specials. Snoopy dressed as Santa using a horn and dancing with candy canes, Pepper and Patty refusing to read over the Christmas vacation, and she and Marcy acting in a Christmas play, Charlie Brown selling wreaths and buying gloves for Peggy Jean, Sally practicing for the Christmas play and writing to Santa, and so much more. There may be a hint of a narrative thrown in with the Christmas play, but most of it is focused on the stuff related to the holiday, and even winter, and each one is pretty enjoyable and funny. Add in the charming music, the silly animation, and all the fun of the holiday to make a surprisingly good special. I love all the humor it brings and is one of those Christmas specials I often look forward to watching. Number 4. It's the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown. It's weird how there's no mention of the Easter Bunny in this and only the Easter Beagle, as this is the only special to do it. But that's one of the things that made it stand out from the other Easter specials, and all of it is quite charming and delightful. I've already done a whole review of this, so you can check that out for more. Yet in some ways, it's kind of like Christmas time again, as it's on this stuff related to the holiday, with Peppermint Patty trying to get Marcy to boil the eggs to paint them, Sally wanting to get Easter shoes, and Lucy's plan to hide and find the eggs herself. But unlike the previous entry, this one has more of a narrative, with Linus's belief in the Easter Beagle and a side story of Snoopy getting a birdhouse for Woodstock. Mixed in with a very enjoyable commentary on Christmas commercializing getting earlier, many funny and charming moments, and a very sweet abundance of music, this is a really great Easter special, as there's not that many Easter specials around, or ones that I enjoy and watch the most. To put simply, it's amazing and delightful, and one I never miss watching every single Easter Sunday. Number 3. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Out of all the Halloween specials I watch every year, I always save Great Pumpkin for last, because it's the best one there is, and I love every minute of it. Again, I made a mention of this in a video of other Halloween specials I saw, so you can check that out too. but even after seeing it a few days ago, I still never tire of it. It does feel funny how often I watch it and it becomes the same thing every time. And Linus never really gives up on his beliefs to gritting his teeth at Charlie Brown, which is always funny to see from a distance. And I'm convinced that rock Charlie Brown picks up from his bag is the same rock. But the most interesting part about the special is Linus's belief in the Great Pumpkin. The way he mentions him and how he believes he's real is so convincing to me as a kid that even I believed in the Great Pumpkin, to the point of writing letters to him and even getting responses back. Yeah, these are the letters I wrote to the Great Pumpkin and a reply back from him. Other than that, everything in this special was fantastic. From the music, to the costumes, to the trick-or-treating, to the raking of the leaves, to Snoopy as the World War I flying ace, every single moment is very delightful and fun. The special itself doesn't go too scary, but it has plenty of sad moments and funny moments. The entire special is great from beginning to end, and not once was I ever bored. Number 2. A Charlie Brown Christmas. Yes, the sequel is funnier and is expanded with more stories and subplots, but the one that started it all surpasses the second and future Christmas specials, mainly because it's very mellow and has a loving passion throughout. Once again, I mentioned this in the same video with the second sequel, but I'll go more about it. The best thing about this holiday special that differs from other Christmas specials is just how calm it all is. From its opening song to the end credits, it all feels very relaxing, with the special's tone and music shining through, without going too big and grand. And as much as the holiday itself has been and still is advertised immensely, as the special often makes references to it and the sequel and merchandising ironically went commercial, it's very nice to see that Charlie Brown in this one decided not to go all commercial, from the play he tried to direct to the tree he picked for the holiday. He's committed to having this Christmas not to be overblown, and that's how the whole special works out. It all feels very sweet and charming, of which other Christmas specials aren't like. Top it off with great music, enjoyable moments, wonderful scenery, and a sweet sense of humor, and you have a holiday special that's always fun to watch every year, and is all done with a simple presentation. And my number 1 favorite Peanut special is You're in Love, Charlie Brown. Now, many of you might be asking, what's in it that makes this better than the previous entries, especially the holiday ones? Well, there's a lot to take from this. Everything about it is pretty simple, right down to the story. Charlie Brown falls in love with the little red-haired girl, and tries to get her to notice him or try to talk to her before the school ends for the summer. That's pretty much it. But what makes it stand out from the others, at least for me, is its presentation. There's more moments in this special, and each one is funny and charming. Peppermint Patty makes her first appearance on TV, and I prefer this version over her current type, even if she sounds Canadian. The attitudes and expression Charlie Brown makes are very good, the little red-haired girl is never shown, Snoopy has 1 or 2 cute moments, and a visual gag involving Schroeder and Lucy is really funny. But a majority is focused on Charlie Brown's love for the little red-haired girl. But unlike later specials that did that, including Blue Sky Studios' film, this one's not too mean-spirited and is done perfectly. It's the one special I turn to whenever I can, and it always makes me smile. The holiday specials are great and lovable, but for Peanut specials overall, I love the passion, the feeling, the humor, and the charm of this one, as it is definitely my number 1 favorite Peanut special. And that is it. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, support me on Patreon, and tune in next time for a new video.